awareness, life, lifestyle, health, unity, rhythm, and advocacy. You're now tuned into Allhura, insight, impact, and inspiration.
Can go back and just talk about science. Just one more little.
Yeah.
Um, what other type of science do you think Dominican, for example? Yes, to be honest with you, lately they have been putting new signs
Yes,
everywhere.
everywhere.
Okay,
Yes.
I have seen this. I really do have to
Appreciate that. We have to
appreciate
appreciate
from traffic or
yes,
or
from the
government
traffic
for them,
board.
right? To
Yes.
put them because they have been putting
And painting
a
and
lot
really,
and
yes.
painting. They have been doing a good job.
Wonderful.
Of course,
we-
we still
we
have some
applaud.
more to do, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like for example,
Yes.
there's one I used to pass in what's the name by Convent High School that goes to um,
Oh, that's Kennedy
no,
Avenue.
that's not Virgin Lane.
Virgin Lane.
Okay, I don't know if you remember, they used to have a sign. I think so that after Maria it came out.
No passing after
Not
this time.
passing from this time to that time, and from this time to. I mean, they had
Yes.
hours
Oh,
of
yes,
pass.
I remember.
I
It's
used
no
to
longer
pass.
there.
There's no longer there, so nobody again follows that.
Whatever time we pass.
Whatever time they want to pass,
So
especially
what is-
1 o'clock.
Yes,
Is that is a chaos. When
Mhm.
you see a chaos, I mean, of course, people normally
Yes.
park because that's their houses and their
Yes,
business.
yes, and you have double parking
And then,
sometimes.
yes, so they're supposed to, and then cars coming from both ways. That is, I find I stop passing there.
Yes, yes. So what did
So
you
I made my
do?
whole round and
Yes,
passing
yes.
there. But I mean, they should, that one,
They should
I
be
find,
rectified back.
yeah, they should put it back
Yes.
and
Precaution is
reinforce.
better than cure.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, there are a couple of them like that they need to reinforce, but they have been doing a good job in putting the
yes.
new ones.
Where we are standing here, we have a barricade, and it's not giving enough information to the road users or the drivers that they should have an alternative route. So, having done that, there should be an indication from way out, so persons having to change lanes would be already informed. It's not when you reach at the barrier you would have noticed there is a change of lane. So, information, as we said, signs are very important. Information is very much should be on its guard so that persons have hands-on information prior to knowing
Don't get
what
it
to do.
correct.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
The correct. But it has been brought to our attention that the paint is very, very dangerous, especially for pedestrians. Persons have already fall, or persons have encountered injuries and stuff like that. And I think it's on a rainy day, even when you pass with your tires, if it's smooth, you will actually hear that in sound.
It's sliding.
So we have to be very, very careful what the road paint is, the correct paint. I'm hoping that they are using it properly, and I'm hoping that it can improve in the not too distant. Yes.
Good thing about the paint.
I
saw quite a few of that.
Yes,
Stuff
yes,
like that.
yes. I believe better lighting is one. We need to improve our lighting. I think after Maria, we had a lot more lights in Philcliff and even in the community areas, the urban areas, in the rural areas, there were more lighting. If you pass in the central, from Sylvina and Trim to go down, there were lights all over. Now we have less than we had more. I'm saying better lighting will help more reflectors on the road so that you can know where your road path, where you keep to the left at all times, because our road, we are very much exposed. Our terrain is exposed because we have lots of cliffs, hills, valleys, and mountains, and we need to have railings. We have observed that railings have been mashed up or they have been washed out from Maria. If you go to Grand Bay, if you go to anywhere,
And the
precipices
precipices are
right there.
very, very, very.
You have visitors.
They need to clean out the areas, especially blind corners.
Yes, the blind
cut
corners. So
it, to
open
cut
up
down
the
the-
open up the corners.
Yes.
So I think driving around, I have been putting my eyes on a lot of things, and I have noticed that we have not put back our railings and pin them into the colors of yellow and black. Another thing that I'm very concerned about is persons driving driving and walking on highways. You have Fresh Market area on the Goodwill Road. On the Goodwill Road, you have persons using the pedestrian crossing, yes. But I believe that the walk paths, the walkways, where you can have the elevated walkways, and you can have persons, instead of someone have to cross a pedestrian on a highway, you would
just
have
go
the up and then you go down. If you look at St. Lucia or Sister Island, if you go to St. Lucia and you're actually on the going to the town area, you have what you have. Walk. They call them. They have to. They call them walk. The walking areas, so you don't
It's
have
like a
anybody.
walking bridge.
Walking bridge.
It's over the
Yes.
road, right?
It's over the
Yes,
road.
instead they
Yeah.
cross the road
So
over.
Dominica is not that long or that big. I think we need to start investing
Yeah.
in personal
In
safety
a specific point.
points. Yes.
Yes.
So if you have somebody who wants to go at Do It Center, after we leave at Do It Center, we want to go
Yeah.
across to pick up a bus on the
Yeah.
other side at the bus stop. We need to have a walkover.
Especially they have Smart.
It's smart and
You
you have a
have
lot of other
Do It.
things.
They have other businesses there.
Mhm.
I mean,
Exactly.
in that point, it's a good one. And
So,
people will go
yeah.
take a bus. I mean,
Certainly.
go out to up on the steps.
Mhm. Another area I think we need to enhance, we at the enhance the infrastructure for fire lanes and the fire turning points. They are very much under a lot of pressure. Most times when we go to the areas, areas that are tight in roads, sometimes we cannot get turning points, not have fire lanes in Dominica.
Well,
This is something that I
would
think
that be like, for example, I find there's no space to have
fire lanes.
I don't know.
Well, what,
Every-
okay,
What can you recommend for
advice.
that? For example,
yes.
I mean, because let's go again with they might have had a little bit of space to do one.
Mhm.
It's the same road with Smart and all that.
Yes.
I mean, they only have one lane, one
One
thing in the middle,
So that
right? The passage in the middle
Yes.
with the lights, and then another lane. Not anything, and then bus drivers like to stop right
Right.
there. I mean, there's a bus stop lower down they can go, but I like to
Mhm.
stop in the middle
In the
of the
middle of the
road,
road, yeah.
and everybody is waiting. I mean, I find
And like we said, they're chaotic.
Yes.
So we
There
kinda
is
tell
what I suggest. I'm seeing that we are in a new era. We have what you call the digital alert, electronic notification, where you have a system where there is an emergency, the lights is on. So if you're driving onto the highway in Goodwill, you will have a flat pole with a light setting. So whatever it will be song from the fire department, and then that light will be sounded. So everybody will see that a red light is a digital electronic light. They have it all over the world where you have the fire. If you don't have fire lanes, but you give the information, so all drivers will be alerted that we need to stay to the left, keep the road clear so that emergency vehicles can through.
Mm.
So these are things that we can. I mean, we are moving into.
so those are like you move them, right? Like if something is going on, you put for example, is something that you can repeat. I mean, puts different
Yes,
places.
It's a
yes,
switch
It's
lane.
not a-
switch
it's not-
lane.
yeah.
It's a switch
Yes.
lane. So then that would be
I know
incumbent
what
on
you're
drivers, incumbent on drivers to know, but it will be for education. So if even like when you had Ross, you would have a point where the students would have pressed that button,
Mhm.
and once they want to cross the street, the light would flick. So any driver coming from
They
whatever
have to
distance,
stop.
they would have to stop. So we can
Mhm.
have that. We can have the electronic device, electronic notification, and we can send an alert information to all drivers that will be using the main lanes. So that would give enough time for drivers to pull all to the left or give right
Yeah.
to the.
It's
So
alerting them in
it's alerting them in
advance.
advance. So that would be a signal coming from wherever the emergency has been. So it would be a 911 system where it will be activated and it will be onto the street. Yes,
Yeah,
that would
that's
be
a good idea.
that would be a good idea to develop
It's
our
just
safety, our safety response and our time approach.
What about for hand? See a lot of, I mean,
Yeah, well, we
facilities.
facilities or lanes.
Yeah,
Or
or
bike
anything.
lanes, or bicycle lanes. Well, what we have on the road, we have what you call the rhombus. These are used for different strategies on the road. They are used for lanes, special lanes for heavy duty vehicles carrying loads up to maybe how much tons. They are also for disability lanes, but we use them in Dominica. Approach is for approaching a pedestrian crossing. So if you look at the road, you look at the good road as you go down, you see one shape on the road like rhombus with rhombus. That's a shape, but it's a diamond shaped white on the road. Have you seen that?
Yes, I've seen.
This is just by the roundabout when you're coming now.
So you're seeing about 1, 2. It will show you. It will give you it. So a lot of drivers doesn't know what that sign means. In Dominica, we use it to say that we are approaching pedestrian crossing, so it rise to the pedestrian. But if you are using it in other sectors, you can use it for the disability lane, you can use it for the bicycle riders, you can use it for maybe children crossings, because it will give, yes, different lanes according to the container trucks that are the heavy. You have a lot of trucking right now. So these lanes would be made just for trucking. So under the cliff, you could have a free lane. But this lane is for heavy duty traffic only, so that it will not impede the other traffic flow.
Yeah.
You understand? So we can do a lot more. We can enforce, we can try to educate, we can try to, give suggestions. What we are doing here this morning is to give suggestions to ensure that the right authorities listening, but they can hear some of the suggestions to make better measures for safety and procedures.
Yes, that is the most important part.
Saying
Reinforcement
one,
and the unity of the community.
to say that is one is
So everybody can help. Yes. So before we finish, we're almost getting there. What do you think are one of the most violations in safety rules that are committed?
Okay, we have observed that overtaking where not permitted is being irrational. Most drivers will, where you have no right to overtake. Drivers will set a speed that they cannot even control, where they will lose control. Sometimes kind of areas where you need to, because there are lines. You have what you call the broken lines. You're only permitted to overtake on a broken line, where you can see clearly ahead, but drivers do not. Sometimes you have some novice or some young drivers who feel that speed is what you're driving. But what if you have a school zone in that close proximity? What if you have a daycare or you have elderlies who are going to cross that road? Overtaking should not be done at certain areas, or you should not overtake where you cannot see or where the line does not permit. And we have also seen running a stop sign. Running up a stop sign, even right here in the city also, your limited speed limit should not be more than 32 kilometers. It's 20 miles where you're passing the town. But people revved up to 60 and they overrun the stop sign, putting a lot more pedestrians and persons of children and everybody. We also see the load carrying, a lot of vehicles carry load. These are some of the things that we have seen that are very unsafe behaviors. We have to know that if you're carrying load, that can be missiles or they can be projectiles, you need to know that your load should be covered at times. If you're carrying something that is not covered, but it should have a danger flag, give anybody at your front or at your back some information that you're carrying load, so at least 50.
Yeah.
So a lot of exposures, you have hand carrying, you have a lot of load being carried, and as you know now, a lot of movements from the port to the airport, fuel being filtered on the road, and you have this road coming more unsafe. So we are asking that persons can do a little more, and the right implementation. There is a law that fix to that, but we need the enforcement.
It's like the trucks and
yes.
Yes. Normally, when they does that, to my knowledge, I know they have to cover.
Yes.
But Dominicans or truckers in the area, they don't follow that route. And put bikers especially at risk, because it's easy for a biker to slide on the gravel or the sand.
And a child crossing. Elderly.
So it's a bit risky, but I know it has a route for that.
And another thing, you have that sand, the wind blowing in the direction, that's coming right onto your windscreen. Or if your windows cannot go up, you know what can happen to you. And you can lose control of your vehicle. Easy like this, and then can happen.
A bus full of people.
Exactly.
And children on board. And
this is something that I think these are high violations and they need to be addressed. There's another area I think that the use of cell phones while driving should be done. If you're to use your cell phone, you should have a speakerphone, or you should have your whatever.
A camera or something on your, press it or something. Because I believe that is one of the reasons traffic.
Everybody wants to see.
Yes, in the traffic in the morning, and sometimes when the bus drivers, especially, the overtaking, which is not which I would say is not a good thing, but some people, the passengers might feel it's a good thing you're reaching over. While you're passing, you see in big spaces between vehicles from under the in people under the cliff, and it's like they're not minding their business. Like I would say, it's in Jamaica. So it's just after they overtake, they just fit it in this and that traffic. Is in their phones and
Crazy. And there's another area I feel that we need to educate the massive of embarking on a pedestrian. Anybody that's a passenger on your bus should be placed past the pedestrian, not on the pedestrian crossing. The reason why you have to pass the pedestrian because any incoming vehicle from the front or to the back would have seen that pedestrian. You as a driver, you would give that alertness. If your hand signal, you would give the hand signal with your hazard. And the person in approach coming to the back would have seen that pedestrian automatically stop. So this is another violation, and I think a lot of bus drivers do not know how they should disembark a pedestrian crossing.
Have you ever done any like programs for them of road safety for when you're a bus driver and carrying passengers?
Well, no, we have not. No, I've not seen any of this yet. What I thought Creed with the program that Creed had when they had a year program running, some of this I made mention of it with the person who was heading the program, but just a certain program, the battery and buckle. This is where we will at that point. So I'm hoping that if the right resources come on board and we have doesn't take much education. You have the education, you pass it on, and you continue doing programs, you continue putting highlights and things, and I think everybody will be aware. The safer country, the safer the roads, the safer the people. So with Dominica, we are wanting to enforce safe roads, smarter road, smarter driving. We want to ensure that. And there's one more thing that I think we should look at. And unsafe practices, the wearing of seatbelts and driving under the influence of any alcohol or medication that is deemed to disorient you. So the enforcing of seatbelts should be a high priority. But if you're a passenger or you're a driver, it is your responsibility for your personal safety. I don't think I should be a police or I should be a warden on your back to inform you that you should
know already for the
you're
safety
supposed to
of
have it
who
on.
you're.
That's the first thing you're supposed to be aware of.
Wearing of seatbelts and children being placed at the front of vehicles, putting even the little ones at risk, not telling them, well, the seatbelt is something that protects you.
Even though you come at the front, at least put the seatbelt on.
Yes.
And I think that what we can do, if the police is overwhelmed and maybe they are short-staffed, we could use what you call road wardens to ensure that you pass at the bus stops.
I think they had that before.
Yes, there was a program like that.
In my school days, but they had that before, and before you hop the front of the bus, the bus driver would tell you put on your seatbelt because and pay no ticket and pay no ticket.
Yes. And wearing of the helmets for
they should reinforce that again. Especially for the bikers that don't use their helmets.
Especially the helmets and the guards.
The guards.
I believe the helmet is one of the ultimate protective gear.
Yeah. Bikers
head injuries. Most times a biker would crash, he would sustain head injury, and this would be fatal. Most of them are fatal. And sometimes if you're not fatal, but if you have your head here, we are not permitted to take it out because it's a cushion for your brain. It's a cushion for your head. So that in itself prevents you from actually maybe losing your life.
Or from cracks, falls,
exactly.
Like
So I'm saying a lot of times we have a lot more accidents, more prevalence of accidents, because of persons not taking their life seriously.
Like they don't care.
They don't care.
And like
if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
And they don't really care too much of what other. I mean, they don't remember they have families that or any, are actually going through this. I mean, you all need to think about the safety.
And like you said, driving.
Speed is driving.
That is it.
But I think with us and with 20 other cooperative persons out there, trying to challenge
But that's a good idea that you say in your school days.
In your school
Maybe
days.
maybe traffic should reinforce
Yes,
kids for not wearing.
For not wearing
Uh,
the seatbelt.
I mean, and have.
But it was,
I mean,
they was
like,
actually hard on that. They was really,
Yes,
really
yes,
enforcing
yes.
that. Because I can remember,
I remember.
anytime you sit
yeah,
down in, you have to have
your
your seatbelt.
seatbelt.
But no, I just not. It just disappeared with the law for that.
So that's why being a driving
they
instructor.
just try putting all the laws back in.
Of course, the laws
For
are
all
there
of them.
now.
I'm not telling you the law, but reinforcement. One thing is that I
It's
know
a
all the
complete
laws are
habit.
there,
Yes.
and it tells you.
People just get complacent.
So and then what they should do is like maybe have police stations in point.
Yes.
Maybe they should be having
Yes.
I mean, I know maybe we cannot afford as yet
Mhm.
putting the cameras for them to see what car, because many other countries,
Yes.
whatever you do, they
It's
send you in
recorded.
your email and it's recorded, whatever fault you do, and this is how much you have to pay.
And you have to
I mean,
pay.
and that is mainly everywhere in the world.
And that's where the
Maybe.
government will generate much more revenue.
Of
To
course.
sustain the roads and
Yes,
yes,
that's a good
yes.
point.
you know,
Trust me, then we get a lot of revenue with all the.
Because if they enforce it in Dominica now, oh boy, the roads coming back brand
Oh,
new.
yes.
Because
and
people will have to pay.
Exactly,
Like,
and
you
you
have to
won't have
pay.
persons doing what they are doing now, because we
Yeah.
lose too many persons in the year 2022 to 2024. Traffic accidents has become like it's music in Dominica right
Yes,
now.
right. It's worse.
Like every day,
worse, you know?
every day.
And
Every day,
people
so-
try to blame the police department for not doing certain things, but how can a police tell you about your safety?
And how you have to drive.
How do you have to drive? You got a license, but that doesn't give you the right to speed where you
Yes.
should not. You got a license, that doesn't mean you have to not wear your seatbelt. The rules of the road is for everybody, and your personal safety should be your priority.
Yeah.
And that's my total.
And it's
opinion.
nobody's fault,
Nobody's
but
fault.
But yeah.
whoever's person that is
But-
breaking those
Those
rules.
laws.
And there's a saying that when you're driving on the road, drive for yourself and the driver.
others. Oh, certainly, certainly.
Yeah.
Because
No, but here, I mean, reinforce. But I mean, it's up to, like you say, it's up to the people what they want.
Yes.
If they're safe. I don't know if they want to show off how they
I
drive.
believe that.
Especially the bikers. Some bikers, oh my God, I see them, I say, oh. And the thing is, like, sometimes when I'm driving and I see all these kids doing all this crazy thing, and then they have an accident, die, and oh, poor little boy or poor little girl.
It's what he or she was
But I
doing.
say, I mean, these are crazy things they're doing on the road.
Yes, yes.
I mean, at least, try to, I mean, be mature.
Be
Maybe,
mature.
I don't know.
But then parenting again, it comes right back to how you bring your bringing, and it depends on how much you want to retain. And if it's you as a person, if you want to live a little life longer, life is not promised, but you can live a little longer by the things that we do. So we don't expose ourselves, knowing that if we expose it, we will be dead tomorrow. But you'll never know if you're dead because nobody gonna.
Only God knows.
Only God knows.
Only God knows when it's our day to go.
Naturally.
But yes, but I mean, it's not that you're going to look for it.
Yes,
No.
but some of them put themselves
They're
in
looking for it,
predicaments. So
yes.
then we have to advise,
Like they're in
protect.
two minds, they're in two
Yes.
minds, and their mind telling them no, mind telling them go ahead,
Yes.
mind telling them go, they go, then that is it. So
Well, I hope this will, I mean, help people to
Yes.
understand.
Oh, yes.
And I am looking forward to work with you
Oh, sure.
in doing
Much more
programs.
programs,
Yes,
yes.
for safety
Because
of, especially the schools. I like working with kids.
Oh, yes. I
And
love that myself.
of course, I'm a Spanish
Yes,
teacher
yes.
as well, and I really, I mean, getting into the people and helping people,
Certainly.
and I mean, always lively.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it's the
certainly,
best way to
certainly,
go.
That's the way you can live.
Oh yes.
And a little interview with bus patrons, with people and people who know the road very well about the traffic and how the traffic impedes certain pedestrians from getting on the road or moving fast or moving slow. Do you think pedestrians are respected on the island of Dominica?
No, they're not.
And why do you think that they are not given the rights?
Right, because too much traffic, too much, and why they don't give them the right? I think they have no respect for pedestrians, first of all, and then they don't give you a break. By the time you cross the street, they're there. Too many cars.
Do you think drivers are educated enough to know what the rights of
No,
the
they're
roads are?
not educated. No? They are not educated. Starting on Eric, He has his motorcycle and he just thinks as if he can zoom past you.
Okay, well, I think that with more education, don't you think more education, because that's what we are trying to bring on board, to help Dominica to become a safer place so that persons can walk, persons can move freely, and persons know that when they use the road, they are safe. So that is our awareness here this afternoon. I'm trying to see how we can make Dominica and help the government and whoever is responsible to make some better choices and suggestions to make Dominica a safe haven, because we have visitors coming every day. Do you think there are enough signs erected for persons?
We need more signs.
You need more signs.
For sure. Because even a main street like that, they break no entry.
They break no entry.
Because the visitors do not know. They do not know that this is a one-way street.
So you think more
signs.
And what about the night movements? Because we have since realized that our areas are not being well lit. So a lot of times persons come in and they go out without even
about that well lit. We're in total darkness. Certain streets, they're not well lit, and you're looking up and down, and there it goes.
What about our sidewalks? Do you think our sidewalks can be made more walkable or more safe, or more accessible? Do you think it's good?
Well, I am a vendor, and just a while ago they said, "Oh, boy, give me room, Vado, give me room. Let me pass. You'll take up all the sidewalks."
Okay. So persons have to walk in the road. Is it that we're saying because of the limitation of space and the parking, most persons have to use the road as a point of moving?
But some of us vendors, we are not fair to
Okay.
because we want to take up the whole sidewalk for us a length of time. We parking, and there was people,
the movements of persons.
The movements, and my God, we have to be considerate,
Well, Vado, we want
to be considerate.
We want to tell you thank you so much, and we hope that when persons hear from you, they will understand that you're somebody that's on the road, and you actually see how the movements of pedestrians and vehicles traversing every day. So we will say thank you to you and Merry Christmas to you, and it's a pleasure to have you being interviewed. Okay, thank you. And I hope you listen to the traffic tip every morning.
Yes, I do, with Cornell
and with Relda. That's me.
Oh,
I'm the one who does the traffic tip, yes. Yes, so
you never.
Yes, I'm the one who does the traffic tip.
I listen to you every day.
Yes, that's me. Yes.
Wow.
It's a pleasure.
I listen to you before, so I know what's going on and how to apply myself when I'm coming out. Because with the traffic and the vendors, and especially Eric, he has a motorcycle.
Okay. We can speak to him. We can speak to him. Okay, well, to see how we can speak to more persons. And we just want to make Dominica a better place.
And then I didn't notice.
It's me.
I cannot really talk about bike.
No, we're talking
too
about
much.
bike.
Yeah,
So
not
you
me.
on bike.
Me on bike?
You on bike.
Why me especially on
So
bike?
when you wear your helmet on bike?
Well, actually, sometimes I use my helmet and sometimes I don't use my helmet.
But all time you have to wear
Sometimes
your
I
helmet.
don't like the helmet because of the movements of the helmet in my small head. And they do not have sizes of my helmet.
That's
for my
understood.
head at all.
That's understood.
So on that part there now, the helmet now can more make me crash than save me by moving in my head. So I have to put 2 bath towels on my little head to try to fit the helmet.
Okay,
Well,
just a quick question.
From the time I was born, I never liked things on my head like that. So the bath towel is a troublesome thing with the helmet. But maybe if they make a helmet that can really fit my head, then I can get into it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Eddie, and it was a pleasure having you and interviewing you as one person in Roseau that knows the road. And do you think that we need to have more signs and more lighting, pedestrian crossing, and more police presence?
When we talk about signs and pedestrian crossing, I think we are lacking on that. Lacking on that 200%. I don't know who's in charge of the road writing or responsible for road signs, but I think we should fire that person and get somebody else. For instance, you're going to the botanical gardens. There's not a proper sign. The tourists come from the ship on the ferry terminal itself. When they walk from the boat, there is no proper sign telling you, well, look, when you leave the ship, you go straight up. When you reach, if it's 500 feet or 6,000 feet, the botanical gardens is on your left or your right.
So more guidance.
So we need more signs. Now, I have one option that they can do and don't waste time to do it, you know. When we are going up, we have Bath Road, going up to Valley Road. Then we have to stop by police station. To your right hand side, there's a pillar facing the convent prep. We can easily put a sign on top of that concrete pillar stating the botanical gardens,
Exactly.
Relda, wherever, you know,
Signs.
with a light on it when night come. So when the children is driving in the night time,
You have a visual.
by the time they look up to the stop, they can see a proper sign, but there's no sign. So we need to upgrade our brain.
Wonderful.
Our brain.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
We have to move.
and in closing,
Yes.
our sidewalks. Yes, we need vendors. The vendors need to sell. But when we give the vendors the space to sell on it, the type of tent or whatever, it's already 3/4 of the road. Like Vado. Vado already take the whole
Okay,
road.
so
Thank you much for being with us, Miss Andre.
Oh, sure, it was
And
a
it was a
pleasure.
very, very, very fruitful interviews.
Wonderful.
Yes, it
And
was.
I mean, we got some feedback from the people. I
Yes.
hope that we can make people be aware of actually all that is going on with
Safety
the lack
awareness.
and safety
And
of
safety.
some of the signs and of knowledge.
Yes.
So we'll get there. Hopefully, we will work on that
Yes.
to make sure
Yes.
that we will give more awareness for the people, for the
Wonderful.
schools, and everywhere we can.
So we'll
Thank you very
continue.
much.
We'll continue
Yes,
on the
we'll
drive
continue.
to awareness and safety and procedures and all the knowledge that people need to know. We will be there to educate you and inform you of all the things that you need to know. It was a pleasure, and thank you
very
for
much
having
for
me.
having
You're welcome. Allhura.
Aloha.